I should have known better than to trust a man who said I love you in 3 languages but couldn't say it with his eyes. But I didn't. And that's how I ended up on my bathroom floor at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night in Seoul. Mascara running down my face, staring at my boyfriend's phone like it held the answer to a question I never wanted to ask. Who is she? Let me back up. My name is Amara, 22, international relations major at Yonsei University, full scholarship kid, the kind of girl who color codes her planner and answers emails within 5 minutes because I'm terrified someone will realize I don't actually belong here. I came to Seoul 2 years ago with a suitcase full of dreams and a heart full of hope. I wanted to prove that a black girl from a small town could make it in a city that didn't even know how to pronounce my name right. And I did. I made it. 4.0 GPA, research assistant position, internship offers. I was winning. Then I met Junho. He worked at a cafe near campus, art major, painted murals on weekends, had this smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. He learned how to say my name perfectly on the first try, bought me honey bread when I studied late, held my hand on the subway like he was proud to be seen with me. For 8 months, I thought I'd found something real. I was wrong. It started with a text message. I wasn't snooping. I swear I wasn't. Junho had left his phone on my desk while he showered. It buzzed. I glanced over, saw a name I didn't recognize. Minji. The preview was enough. I miss you. Appa, when can I see you again? I'm tired of waiting. My stomach dropped. I told myself it was nothing. A friend, a classmate, something innocent. But my hands were already reaching for his phone, already unlocking it with the passcode he'd given me months ago, already scrolling. And there it was. Weeks of messages, maybe months. Photos, late-night calls I didn't know about. Plans made on nights he told me he was busy with school projects. The worst part? The words were the same. The exact same words he'd said to me. You're different from other girls. I've never felt this way before. You're my person, copy, paste, send to someone else. Like I was just another draft, another version of a story he was still editing. I heard the shower turn off. I should have confronted him right then. Should have thrown the phone at his chest and demanded answers. But I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Just sat there staring at the screen while my brain tried to process what my heart already knew. He'd been cheating on me. For months. The bathroom door opened, steam rolled out. Junho stepped into my tiny studio apartment with a towel around his waist, hair dripping, that same beautiful smile on his face. Then he saw my expression. The smile died. Amara? Don't. My voice came out flat, empty. Just don't. It's not what? Not what it looks like? I stood up. My legs shook. Because it looks like you've been seeing someone else. For a long time. While telling me I was your girlfriend. He reached for me. I stepped back. Baby, listen. How long? I cut him off. How long have you been lying to me? Silence. That's how I knew it was bad. Because Junho always had words, always had explanations. But right then, standing there dripping water onto my floor, he had nothing. Get out, I whispered. Amara, please. Get out. I didn't recognize my own voice. Didn't recognize the girl screaming at a man in a towel while tears poured down her face. This wasn't me. I didn't yell. Didn't make scenes. Didn't fall apart. Except I was falling apart. Right there. Right then. He left. Finally. Grabbed his clothes and walked out without another word. The door clicked shut. And I collapsed. I don't know how long I cried. Long enough that my roommate Hana came home and found me still on the floor, still holding his stupid phone, still sobbing like my world had ended. Maybe it had. Amara. Hana knelt beside me, pulled me into her arms. Let me ruin her shirt with mascara and tears and snot. What happened? I told her everything. She didn't say, "I told you so," even though she'd never liked Junho. Didn't say, "Boys are trash," even though it was true. Just held me while I broke into pieces on our bathroom floor. "I'm so stupid," I whispered. "How did I not see it?" "You're not stupid. You trusted him. That's not the same thing." "It feels the same." She pulled back, looked me dead in the eyes. "You know what we're going to do?" "Cry more?" "No, we're going out." I blinked. "What?" "Tomorrow night. You, me, Octagon. We're getting dressed up, getting drunk, and you're going to remember what it feels like to be alive." "Hannah, I can't." "Yes, you can." Her voice was firm, gentle. "You're not staying in this apartment crying over some mediocre guy who didn't deserve you in the first place. You're going to shower, put on something that makes you feel powerful, and we're going dancing." "I don't want to dance." "I don't care what you want right now, because what you want is to disappear. And I'm not letting that happen." Thursday night came faster than I expected. I stood in front of my closet in my towel, skin still damp from the shower, staring at clothes that all felt wrong. Nothing fit the girl I was trying to become. The one who didn't care. The one who wasn't broken. I pulled out a black dress anyway. The one with the open back that Junho used to love. Good. I wanted to burn every memory of him. Hana did my makeup. Dark, smoky eyes. Deep red lips. She sprayed me with her expensive Chanel perfume, the one that smelled like confidence I didn't have. There. She turned me toward the mirror. "Now you look like someone who doesn't give a single fuck." I stared at my reflection. She was right. I looked like someone else. Someone dangerous. Someone who made bad decisions and didn't apologize. Maybe that's exactly who I needed to be tonight. The rain started as we left the apartment. Soft at first, then harder. Cold drops on my bare shoulders. The city lights blurred. Seoul glowed. Neon signs reflecting off wet pavement. Taxis splashing through puddles. People running for cover. But I didn't run. I let the rain soak into my skin. Wash away the girl who'd cried on the bathroom floor. Wash away the scholarship student who always played it safe. By the time we reached Octagon, I was someone new. Someone who didn't know that walking into that club meant walking straight into the arms of the most dangerous stranger I would ever meet. Have you ever done something reckless just to feel alive again? I will be reading all your comments, and please, besties, subscribe to Afro Korean Love Stories. It helps me bring you more interesting love stories. The line outside Octagon wrapped around the block. Beautiful people in designer clothes. Girls in heels so high they looked like weapons. Guys in suits that cost more than my semester's tuition. Everyone looked like they belonged in a music video. I looked down at my Zara dress. "Hana, I don't think—" "Stop." She grabbed my wrist. "We're getting in. I know the promoter. You know everyone. It's a skill." She winked and pulled me past the velvet ropes. Straight to the security guard who looked like he bench-pressed cars for fun. She said something in rapid Korean I couldn't follow. Showed him her phone. He nodded once and unclipped the rope. Just like that, we were in. "How did you—" "Don't ask questions. Just follow me." Inside was a different universe. The bass hit me first. Not just sound, pressure. Like the music had weight, had hands, was pushing against my chest, my ribs, my spine. Then the lights. Lasers cutting through manufactured fog. LED screens covering entire walls, flashing images in time with the beat. Strobes turning everything into snapshots. Blue, gold, red, white. Like the whole club was a living, breathing photograph. The floor was packed, bodies moving like one organism. I saw faces from everywhere. Korea, China, Europe, Africa, America. Heard conversations in languages I couldn't name. Everyone was beautiful. Everyone was rich. Everyone belonged. Except me. "This place is insane." I shouted to Hana over the music. She was already moving toward the bar, completely at home. I told you. Now stop looking terrified and get a drink. The bar itself glowed. Literally. Backlit glass shelves holding bottles that probably cost more than my rent. The bartenders looked like models. One of them, gorgeous, sharp jawline, perfectly styled hair, slid 2 drinks toward us without asking what we wanted. Pink, smoking with dry ice. "What is this?" I asked. Hana shrugged. "Does it matter?" It didn't. I drank it. Tasted like raspberries and risk and something expensive I couldn't identify. The cold smoke curled up around my face. For a second, just a second, I felt like someone else. Someone who belonged here. Someone who wasn't heartbroken. "Come on!" Hana grabbed my hand and pulled me toward the dance floor. The music was different down here. Deeper, heavier. The kind of bass you don't just hear. You feel it. In your chest, your teeth. The hollow space where your heart used to be. Bodies pressed together. Sweat and expensive cologne and something sweet I couldn't place. The air was thick, hot, electric. I closed my eyes. Let the music take me somewhere else. Away from Junho's lies. Away from my tiny apartment. Away from the girl who still believed in promises. The lights flashed red behind my eyelids. Then blue. Then gold. I raised my arms. Let my hips move. Let my body remember what it felt like to exist without pain. For a moment, just a moment, I felt free. Then I felt it. That weight. That pressure. Someone was watching me. You know that feeling, right? When the air shifts and you just know someone's eyes are on you. Like heat on the back of your neck. Like gravity pulling in a direction it shouldn't. I opened my eyes. Looked around. And that's when I saw him. He was on the 2nd level. VIP section. Leaning against a glass railing that overlooked the entire dance floor. Tall. Broad shoulders and a black shirt that fit like it was made specifically to break hearts. Dark hair pushed back. Sharp jawline. Eyes that caught the light and held it. He wasn't dancing. Wasn't drinking. Wasn't talking to the expensive-looking people around him. He was just watching. Watching me. My breath caught. Our eyes met across the crowd, across the smoke, across the pulsing lights. He didn't look away. Didn't smile. Just held my gaze like he had every right to it. Like he'd been waiting for me to notice. "Oh my God." Hana grabbed my arm. "Is that guy staring at you?" "I don't know." "Amara, he is literally staring at you like you're the only person in this entire club." She wasn't wrong. Even with 50 people between us, even with the lights flashing and the music pounding, I could feel his eyes. Heavy, intense, dangerous. "Go talk to him," Hana shouted. "Absolutely not." "Why not?" "Because I didn't have a reason, just instinct, just the feeling that walking toward him would change something fundamental, something I couldn't take back." "When was the last time a man that fine looked at you like that?" Never. The answer was never. I looked back up. He was still there, still watching. And this time when our eyes met, something shifted in his expression. Not a smile. Something more dangerous than that. Recognition. Like he knew me. Like he'd been looking for me. My stomach flipped. "I need another drink," I said. "You need to go talk to him." "Hana." But she wasn't listening. She was grinning, scheming, and before I could stop her, she shoved me forward. I stumbled, caught myself, and suddenly I was moving through the crowd, bodies parting, music swallowing every rational thought. I wasn't walking toward the stairs. I wasn't. Except I was. I made it 3 songs before I looked again. He was gone. The VIP section was still full of beautiful people drinking expensive champagne. But the spot where he'd been standing, empty. Disappointment hit harder than it should have. I didn't even know him. He was probably just some rich guy who stared at girls like we were part of the club's decoration. I was being stupid. Again. Forget him, I whispered to myself. I pushed toward the bar. Needed water. Needed air. Needed to remember why I came here. To forget. Not to find. The crowd was thick. I squeezed between bodies, apologizing in broken Korean and English, until I finally broke through to the bar. That's when I felt it. A hand on my lower back. Light. Warm. Possessive. I spun around. It was him. Up close, he was devastating. Taller than I expected. I had to tilt my head back to meet his eyes. Sharp features, high cheekbones, strong jaw, a mouth that looked like it didn't smile often. His cologne hit me. Dark, woody, expensive. The kind that made you think of leather and danger and bad decisions. Hi, he said. One word. That voice. Deep, smooth, Korean accent, but his English was perfect. Hi. My voice came out breathless. He didn't move his hand, didn't step back, just studied my face like he was memorizing it. You look lost, he said. I'm not lost. No? His eyes dropped to my mouth, then back up. Then what are you? Trying to forget someone. Is it working? Not yet. Something flickered in his eyes. Amusement, maybe, or interest. What's your name? He asked. Amara? Amara. The way he said it, slow, deliberate, tasting every syllable, made my skin prickle. I'm Minho. Just Minho? For now. His thumb traced a small circle on my lower back, through the fabric of my dress. Burning. Do you want to dance, Amara? Or do you want to keep pretending you came here alone? I didn't come alone. My friend... Your friend is busy. He nodded toward the bar. I looked. Hana was talking to some guy, laughing, completely absorbed. So, Minho said softly, it's just you and me. My heart hammered. Every rational part of my brain screamed warnings. You don't know him. He could be anyone. This is how bad things start. But I was tired of being rational. Tired of being the good girl who got cheated on. Tired of playing it safe and ending up alone anyway. So I said, okay. Okay? Let's dance. His hand slid from my back to my waist as he led me onto the floor. Not rough, not hesitant, just certain. Like he knew exactly where I belonged. He pulled me close. Too close. Our bodies pressed together. His hand on my waist, then lower, resting just above my hip. His other hand caught mine, pressed it against his chest. I could feel his heartbeat. Steady. Controlled. We moved, not like strangers. Like we'd done this before. Like our bodies already spoke the same language. The music shifted. Something slower, heavier. The lights dimmed to deep red. Smoke rolled across the floor, curling around our legs like something alive. You're trouble, I said. He smiled then, finally, devastating. You have no idea. His hand tightened on my waist. Our faces were inches apart. I could feel his breath, warm, steady. What do you do? I asked. Besides watch girls from VIP sections? Things you probably shouldn't know about. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. His thumb traced a slow circle on my hip. My skin burned where he touched me, even through the dress. Why me? I whispered. There are 50 girls here. 50 girls. He leaned closer, his lips almost brushing my ear. But only one looked at me like she wasn't afraid. Maybe I should be afraid. Maybe. His voice dropped lower, darker. But you're still here, aren't you? I was. God help me, I was. The song changed, something with a harder beat. But we didn't move faster. Just swayed there in the middle of the floor while everyone else lost themselves to the rhythm. He pulled back just enough to look at me. Those eyes. Dark, intense, like they could see every secret I'd ever kept. Come with me, he said. Where? Somewhere quieter. I know. His hand moved from my hip to my face, cupped my jaw. Gentle but firm. You don't know me. You don't trust me. You think this is a bad idea. It is a bad idea. Probably. His thumb brushed my cheekbone. But you're going to say yes anyway. He was right. I hated that he was right. When he finally approached me, I realized he wasn't the type of man you told no. Would you have walked away? Or let him come closer? Let me know in the comments what you would have done. He led me through the crowd like he owned the place. Maybe he did. People moved out of his way without him having to ask. Just shifted, parted. Let us pass like Moses in the Red Sea. I caught glimpses of faces as we walked. Some curious, some knowing, some that looked almost afraid. Who was this man? We reached the stairs to the VIP section. 2 security guards stood at the bottom. Massive, arms crossed, earpieces glowing. Minho didn't slow down. Didn't say a word. Just nodded once. They stepped aside immediately. My stomach flipped. Do you work here? I asked as we climbed. No. Then why did they? Because they know who I am. That should have been a red flag. Should have made me turn around. Walk back down those stairs. Find Hana. Go home. But I kept climbing. The VIP section was different. Quieter. Darker. The music was still there, but muted, like someone had wrapped the world in velvet. Private booths lined the walls, separated by frosted glass panels that glowed purple. Leather seats, low tables, ice buckets with champagne bottles that probably cost more than my scholarship. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the entire club below. From up here, the dance floor looked like an ocean. Bodies moving in waves, lights flashing like lightning over water. Wow, I whispered. You've never been up here before. It wasn't a question. No, I've never been to Octagon before tonight. Why tonight? I looked at him. Does it matter? Everything about you matters. The way he said it, so direct, so certain, made my breath catch. He guided me to a corner booth, the most private one. Windows on 2 sides showing the city and the club. A bottle of champagne already waiting in ice. Sit, he said. I sat. The leather was cold against my bare thighs. He poured champagne without asking if I wanted any. Handed me a glass. Our fingers brushed. That same electric shock. To bad decisions, he said, raising his glass. I almost laughed. Is that what this is? Without question. We drank. The champagne was perfect, crisp, cold, expensive. Nothing like the cheap bottles Hana and I usually bought. Minho sat next to me. Not across. Next to me. Close enough that his thigh pressed against mine. Close enough that I could smell his cologne again. Wood and danger and something darker I couldn't name. Close enough that when he turned to look at me, our faces were inches apart. Tell me something, he said. Like what? Why you really came to the club tonight? I took another sip. Liquid courage. I told you. To forget someone. What did he do? What makes you think it was a he? His lips curved, not quite a smile. Because I recognize that look. The one that says someone broke something inside you. My throat tightened. You don't know me. Not yet. His hand found my knee. Warm, steady. But I want to. Why? Because you looked at me across that dance floor like you weren't afraid of what you saw. And that, his thumb traced a slow circle on my knee, is rare. Maybe I'm just stupid. You're not stupid, Amara. His voice softened. Hurt, maybe. Angry. Reckless, but not stupid. How did he do that? See straight through me like I was glass? I drank more champagne. The bubbles made my head feel light. Made the edges of the world blur. His name was Junho, I heard myself say. We dated for 8 months. I thought he loved me. Yesterday I found out he'd been cheating. For months. With someone else. maybe multiple someone else's. I don't even know anymore. Minho's jaw tightened. Where is he now? I don't know. I blocked him. Good. Is it? Because I feel like an idiot. Like I wasted 8 months on someone who... My voice cracked. I stopped. Took a breath. Sorry, you don't want to hear this. Yes, I do. His hand moved from my knee to my face, cupped my jaw, made me look at him. I want to hear everything. Those eyes. God, those eyes. Dark and intense and looking at me like I was the only thing that existed. He didn't deserve you, Minho said quietly. You don't even know me. I know enough. His thumb brushed my cheekbone. Gentle. Too gentle for someone who looked that dangerous. I know you walked into this club tonight looking like the world ended. I know you're here trying to forget someone who isn't worth remembering. And I know... His voice dropped lower. That you're stronger than you think you are. How do you know that? Because you're still here. With me. Even though every instinct is probably telling you to run. He was right. Every rational thought screamed at me to leave. To go find Hana. To go home. To stop sitting in a dark corner with a stranger whose last name I didn't even know. But I didn't move. Your turn, I said. My voice came out shakier than I wanted. Tell me something true. His expression shifted. Something darker moved behind his eyes. What do you want to know? Who you are? What you do? Why security guards let you walk past like you're, I don't know, someone important? I am someone important. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting tonight. He pulled his hand back, reached for his champagne, drank. Some things are better left unknown, Amara. That sounds like something a criminal would say. I meant it as a joke. He didn't laugh. Oh. My heart started racing. Not from fear, from something worse. Curiosity. Are you? I whispered. A criminal? Define criminal. Someone who breaks the law. Everyone breaks the law. He set down his glass, turned to face me fully. The question is how far they're willing to go. How far have you gone? Far enough that you should walk away right now. But I didn't. Couldn't. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because you asked for something true. His hand found mine, laced our fingers together. And because I don't want you to have any illusions about who I am. What if I don't care? Something flickered in his eyes. Surprise. Then something darker. Hunger. You should care. But I don't. The music below shifted. Faster. Harder. The bass vibrated through the floor, through the leather seat, through my bones. Minho leaned closer. Our foreheads almost touched. You're not what I expected, he said softly. What did you expect? Someone who would run. Maybe I'm tired of running. Then what do you want, Amara? I didn't know how to answer that. A week ago, I would have said I wanted Junho. Wanted the relationship I thought we had. Wanted the safe, predictable future I'd been planning. But that was gone now. Burned. Destroyed. Turned to ash. And sitting here in the dark with this dangerous stranger, I realized I didn't want safe anymore. I wanted to feel something. Anything. Everything. I want to forget, I whispered. Forget what? Everything. Him. The pain. The fact that I trusted someone who didn't deserve it. Minho's hand tightened on mine. I can help you forget, he said. How? Come with me. Where? Does it matter? It should have. It absolutely should have mattered. But when I looked into his eyes, those dark, dangerous, beautiful eyes, all I could think was yes. Yes to whatever he was offering. Yes to the bad decision. Yes to the danger. Okay, I breathed. He stood, held out his hand. I took it. He led me out of the VIP section, down a different hallway, away from the club, away from the music, away from Hana and safety and everything I knew. My phone buzzed in my clutch. Hana, where did you go? I should have answered. Should have told her I was leaving. Should have let someone know where I was going. But I didn't. I just followed Minho down the hallway, through a door marked private, into an elevator that required a keycard to operate. The doors closed. We were alone. The elevator was mirrored on all sides. I caught our reflection. Him tall and dark and dangerous in his black shirt. Me small and uncertain in my dress. Our hands still linked. We looked like a photograph. We looked like a mistake. Last chance, he said, his voice echoing in the small space. You can still change your mind. I should have. Every part of me screamed to press the emergency stop, to go back down, to find Hana, to choose safety. But when I looked up at him, at those eyes that held secrets, at that face that promised danger, at those lips that hadn't smiled once but somehow made me want to see them smile, I knew I was already too far gone. I don't want to change my mind, I whispered. His hand moved to my face, tilted my chin up. Then stop thinking, he said. And he kissed me. Not gentle, not tentative, consuming. His mouth claimed mine like he'd been thinking about it all night, like he'd been holding back and finally couldn't anymore. His other hand slid into my hair, angled my head, deepened the kiss until I forgot where I ended and he began. I gasped against his lips. He swallowed the sound. The elevator dinged. Doors opened. He pulled back just enough to look at me. His eyes were darker now, hungrier. Still want to forget? He asked. I nodded. Couldn't speak, couldn't think. He smiled then. Finally. That devastating smile. Good. He led me out of the elevator, down a hallway that smelled like money. Expensive carpet, soft lighting, abstract art on the walls. We stopped at a door. Suite 7501. He swiped a keycard. The lock clicked. My heart hammered. This was it. The moment I could still turn back. Still walk away. Still be the smart girl who made good choices. But I didn't want to be that girl anymore. That girl got cheated on. That girl got her heart broken. That girl played by the rules and still lost. So when Minho pushed open the door and looked at me with those dark eyes, I didn't hesitate. I didn't plan to follow him. But my legs moved before my mind did. Have you ever met someone who felt like trouble from the first second? His suite was ridiculous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking all of Seoul. The Han River snaking through the city like a black ribbon. Namsan Tower glowing in the distance. Buildings stretching out forever, their lights twinkling like fallen stars. I walked to the window in a daze, pressed my palm against the glass. Cold. Real. How much does a room like this cost? I asked. Does it matter? I turned to face him. He was leaning against the wall by the door, arms crossed, watching me with that same intense focus. I'm trying to figure out who you are, I said. I told you, I'm not a good man. That's still not an answer. I crossed my arms, tried to look braver than I felt. Are you a CEO? A criminal? Both? He pushed off the wall, walked toward me. Slow, deliberate, predatory. You really want to know? He asked. Yes. No, you don't. He stopped inches from me. So close I had to tilt my head back to meet his eyes. Because once you know, you can't unknow it. And right now, his hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone. You still get to see me as just a man. Aren't you? No. His voice was soft, almost sad. But I want to be, just for tonight. Can you let me be just a man, Amara? The way he said my name, like a prayer, like a confession. I nodded. Because what else could I do? He kissed me again. Slower this time. Deeper. His hands found the zipper of my dress, slid it down inch by inch while his mouth never left mine. The fabric pooled at my feet. I stood there in just my underwear, feeling exposed and powerful all at once. He pulled back, looked at me, really looked at me. "You're beautiful," he whispered, not in the way Junho used to say it. Casual, expected. Like he was supposed to say it. Minho said it like he meant it, like it hurt him, like I was something precious he didn't deserve to touch. I reached for his shirt, unbuttoned it with shaking hands. He caught my wrists, gentle but firm. "We don't have to do this," he said. "I know. I don't want you to regret me." Too late, I thought. I already knew I would, but I kissed him anyway. What happened next should have been just physical, just two bodies seeking comfort in the dark. But it wasn't. He was gentle, unexpectedly so. His hands mapped every inch of my skin like he was memorizing me, like he wanted to remember this. Remember me. He carried me to the bed, laid me down on sheets that felt like clouds. Expensive. Soft. Nothing like my cheap IKEA bedding. "Tell me if you want me to stop," he whispered against my neck. "Don't stop." He didn't. His mouth traced a path down my throat, my collarbone. Lower, his hands followed. Exploring, learning, every touch deliberate, purposeful. When I gasped, he slowed down. When I arched into him, he smiled against my skin. "Tell me what you need," he murmured. "I don't know." "Then let me figure it out." And he did. God, he did. He took his time, made me forget my own name, made me forget Junho, made me forget everything except the feeling of his hands, his mouth, his body moving with mine. When he finally slid inside me, I stopped breathing. He stilled. "Okay?" I nodded. Couldn't speak. He moved, slow at first, gentle. His forehead pressed against mine. His eyes locked on my face like he was trying to see inside my soul. "Amara," he breathed. My name had never sounded like that before. Like worship. Like goodbye. Afterward, we lay tangled in those expensive sheets, my head on his chest, his fingers trailing up and down my spine. The city lights glowing through the window, rain starting again, soft taps against the glass. "I should go," I said. But I didn't move. "Stay." His arm tightened around me. "Just for a little while." I stayed. We talked. About nothing. About everything. He asked about my scholarship, my major, my dreams of working in international relations, maybe at the UN someday. "You'll do it," he said. Simple. Certain. "How do you know?" "Because you're the kind of person who doesn't give up." I didn't know how to respond to that. I asked about Seoul, about the club, about everything except what he did for a living. That felt like dangerous territory. Sacred ground I wasn't ready to cross. At some point, my eyes started closing. His fingers found my hair, brushed it back from my face. So gentle. So tender. Like I was something fragile he was afraid to break. "Sleep," he whispered. "I've got you." And I did. God help me, I fell asleep in the arms of a stranger. I woke up to gray morning light. The city looked different in daylight. Less magical. More real. Minho's arm was draped across my waist. Heavy. Warm. Possessive even in sleep. Reality crashed over me like cold water. What had I done? I didn't know his last name. Didn't have his number. Didn't know if he was a businessman or a gangster or something worse. All I knew was that his touch had felt like coming home. And that terrified me more than anything else. I slipped out from under his arm. Carefully. So carefully. He stirred but didn't wake. I stood there for a moment, looking down at him. In sleep, he looked younger, peaceful. The hard edges of his face had softened. His dark hair fell across his forehead. His lips were slightly parted. Beautiful, dangerous, mine for one night only. I gathered my clothes from the floor, the black dress, my heels, my phone, 17 missed calls from Hana. In the bathroom, I caught sight of myself in the mirror. Smudged makeup, tangled hair, kiss-bruised lips. I looked like exactly what I was. A girl who'd made a terrible decision and was about to do the walk of shame through the most expensive hotel in Seoul. I splashed water on my face, fixed my hair as best I could, tried to look like someone who had their life together. Failed. When I came out, Minho was still asleep. One arm stretched across the space where I'd been. Like even unconscious, he was reaching for me. My chest ached. I should leave a note, right? That's what people did after one-night stands. But what would I even say? Thanks for making me forget I was heartbroken? Sorry, I'll never see you again. I hope you're not actually a criminal. No, better to just go. Clean break, no complications. This was just one night. It didn't mean anything. Couldn't mean anything. I was halfway to the door when I heard it. Amara. His voice. Rough with sleep. I froze. Didn't turn around. Don't, I whispered. Don't what? Don't make this harder than it is. Silence. Then the rustle of sheets. Footsteps. He was behind me now. I could feel the heat of him, smell his cologne mixed with my perfume. Look at me, he said softly. I can't. Why not? Because if I do, I won't leave. Then don't leave. My hand tightened on the door handle. This was a mistake. Was it? His hand covered mine. Because it didn't feel like one. Minho, stay. Have breakfast with me. No. I pulled away. Forced myself to turn around. His shirt was unbuttoned. His hair was a mess. Those dark eyes looked more awake now. More alert. Like he could see the panic rising in my chest. This was just one night, I said. That's all it can be. Why? Because I don't even know you. Because you're clearly involved in something I shouldn't be part of. Because I just got my heart broken and this... I gestured between us. This is just me trying to feel something other than pain. And did you? His voice was quiet. Feel something? Too much. I'd felt too much. It doesn't matter, I said. It matters to me. Why? You do this all the time, right? Take girls home from clubs? Something flashed across his face. Hurt or anger? No, he said. I don't. Well, I do now, apparently. I reached for the door. Thank you for everything, but I need to go. Amara. Goodbye, Minho. I opened the door, stepped into the hallway, didn't look back, even though every part of me wanted to. The elevator felt like it took forever. My hands shook as I pressed the lobby button. The doors closed. I caught my reflection in the mirrored walls, mascara-stained cheeks, rumpled dress, the look of someone who'd just run from something they wanted to stay for. My phone buzzed. Hana, where are you? Hana, are you alive? Hana, I'm calling the police. I typed back with trembling fingers. I'm fine, coming home now. The lobby was all marble and gold, businessmen in suits. Women in designer clothes heading to breakfast meetings. I walked through it with my head high. Like I belonged there. Like I hadn't just snuck out of a stranger's hotel room. Outside, Seoul was waking up. The rain had stopped. The air smelled clean, fresh, like new beginnings. I flagged a taxi, gave my address in broken Korean, sat in the back seat and watched the signal disappear behind me. When I slipped out of that hotel room, I thought that was the end. But I was wrong. Be honest. Would you have stayed to see who he really was? Let me know in the comment section and tell me where you are watching from so I can send you a hug. Stay active, besties, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet as I drop part 2. Thank you for being here, my besties. You are loved so much.